Here's a 2-minute clip of Democrat Dan Goldman on MSNBC calling for the elimination of Donald Trump.
I want to also turn to Trump, of course, and just some of what the reporting has been around some of his conversations. Also, as we anticipate a year full of trials next year, I want to take a listen to part of a conversation that he had with ABC's Jonathan Karl about January 6th and get your thoughts on the other end.
You told them you were going to go up to the Capitol. Were you just...
I was going to, and the Secret Service said, you can't. And then by the time I would have, and then when I got back, I wanted to go back. I was thinking about going back during the problem to stop the problem, doing it myself. Secret Service didn't like that idea too much.
So what?
I could have done that, and you know what? I would have been very well received.
So there's been so much speculation, contemplation, discussion of what Trump wanted to do, what he knew or didn't know. I mean, do you think as a prosecutor, former prosecutor, this is something that could be useful in the case against Trump? How will it be used?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, he says I would be well received because he knows that the people who were there are his supporters who he riled up and incited to invade and riot at the Capitol.
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
And try to disrupt the proper counting of the Electoral College votes. So every time he talks, he's putting himself into a bigger criminal hole. That's not his objective. His objective is purely political at this point. Politics don't work in a courtroom, as I think he's finding out in the New York Attorney General's case in New York, a civil case, and that's going to continue in his criminal trials. But his rhetoric is really getting dangerous, more and more dangerous. And we saw what happened on January 6th when he uses inflammatory rhetoric now, and his recent Truth Social post is incredibly scary for anyone that might be trying to work in government. And it is just unquestionable at this point that man cannot see public office again. He is not only unfit, he is destructive to our democracy, and he has to be eliminated.
This is what years and years of TDS and the media outlets demonizing Donald Trump will get you. An American politician, of course a Democrat, calling for the elimination of Donald Trump. Sorry, what other way is there to take it other than by any means necessary? The way that he frames Trump as a threat to democracy, the projection of everything that the Democrats have done in terms of eliminating free speech for Americans, changing the rules of the vote, demanding that everybody take a COVID jab, even after it's proven not to work, as though they had the right to do so at the beginning, masking children, keeping them away from schools. And he's the threat to democracy, you fascist pig? I disagree vehemently. But you see this Freudian slip emerging from the Democrats. This is what they think. This is what the plan is. I really hope that Secret Service is amazing and are able to protect Trump. But I don't think that they're going to be able to combat everybody that the Democrats rile up and tell them that Trump is the devil incarnate, the Nazi that they claim him to be, the one who made peace in the Middle East and got the Abraham Accords signed. This is who they're framing as the threat to democracy after they do everything that I told you. and yet he has the audacity to call for the elimination of Donald Trump. How else do you take it other than the Democrats? He, Dan Goldman, wants to assassinate the Donald. I call for the elimination of Dan Goldman. And if he can claim that he didn't mean it in a manner to kill the Don, then I'll claim the same for him. F you, Dan Goldman. Go back to your Levi Strauss fortune and leave America alone to people who actually love freedom rather than lying every single time you have the opportunity and then wanting and claiming and clamoring for the elimination of Donald Trump.